What up, YouTube? Elleix, come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today, we have another matchup featuring the Azeroth-Koprulu Hyperwar mod, which, in case you haven't already noticed, puts Warcraft 3 in the StarCraft 2 engine. In this case, it's going to be Team StarCraft 2 versus Team Warcraft 3. Should be really interesting. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams. Team Warcraft spawning on the top left-hand side of the map. It's our orange Undead player Oakway with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our red humans player Kytrion going up against Team StarCraft spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's our purple Terran player Ardorz with his ally spawning just to his right. It's our green Protoss player Rosebudio. Some action on the map already. This pro trying to get some harassment in, but the Death Knight is already alive, and we have the mage as well. Oh boy. Okay, so two heroes running across the map. Actually, it looks like only one of them running across the map, but look at the timestamp. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and you already have a unit with 380 HP. That is insane. Looks like the mage is tailing just behind the Death Knight, and what's he actually called? The Archmage. Excuse me there. I'm still not super familiar with the Warcraft 3 units, but I do know they do have the heroes. And yep, this Stalker is like, what the hell is going on? This should not be happening. But the shield battery finishing up right on time, as well as the Nexus. Do we see an overcharge on the shield battery is the question. I don't think we will. And of course, the Water Elemental summoned by the Archmage. Oh boy. And the bunker's not even finished. The wall is down. We are already seeing so much chaos on the map, and we're at 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the game pretty much. Although, looks like the Archmage is going to almost die, as well as the Death Knight. So all things considered, it could have been a lot worse. Did we lose any workers this game? Actually, we can't see that because we are in the team format. I don't think I saw any probes go down. At most, there was one during that kind of initial run, or two, potentially. At most, one or two is what I wanted to say. Anyway, as you can already tell, I am shell-shocked. Now, one other thing that is really interesting, and I mentioned this in my last cast, you do have mobs. So, yeah, you can clean up the mobs as the Warcraft players and level up and pick up items. As far as I know, that is not an option for the StarCraft 2 players, but they still have to clean up these bases if they want to expand, obviously. So, yeah, this will be really interesting to see how it unfolds. I said it in my last cast as well. It would be cool if you gave the option to pick up items or level up to the Protoss units somehow. Maybe even include some sort of balanced hero versions. You know, you have plenty of heroes in StarCraft 2, so like Kerrigan, Raynor, Artanis. Although it would take a lot of balancing, and as I said in my last cast as well, I know that is so much to ask for. These are fan-made after all. These Stalkers actually denying this Town Hall for just a moment, but they are surrounded by what is 3 heroes and the Rifleman as well. And one Stalker is alive. Blink is not done. Is Blink even being researched? No, it is not. Immortals on the way, though. Stimpack on the way for our Terran player as well. Marauders and Marines coming out. So it looks like for the time being, Ardorz, our Terran player, is going for the bio. Kellen the Seeker is what he spawned with, is the name the Archmage spawned with. I feel like I should say Archmage. It sounds better. I can never tell when it should be Arch or Arc, you know. I know there's a rule, but for some reason that rule is escaping me for the time being. We're also starting this cast off with a little bit of trauma. I was attacked by 2 wasps just moments before this cast. I was walking into my house, bro, and a wasp fell on my bare arm. Fell off my bare arm and then started crawling up my leg. I somehow kicked it off, and his brother or somebody decided to attack me from behind. I must have pissed him off, and I somehow made it into the house unscathed after making a lot of very cringe noises. And yep, I am alive, but I'm also very scared to leave my house now because I'm convinced they're going to jump me as soon as I leave. And my house, at least where I live right now, I'm in the attic of a garage. It's a very nice attic, but it doesn't have a kitchen. So I have to leave the house eventually to go make food. It's a whole thing. Anyway, if you're curious about that, leave a comment down below. I'll respond and let you know how it's gone. I'll keep you guys updated for sure. Anyway, looks like the Warcraft army stacked with heroes. 2 heroes for each of these players. They are moving to the StarCraft side of the map, but they were spotted by an observer, and Rosebudio, oh, very good. Kiting the army back. The siege tank from Ardorz sieging up just in time. This would be such a sick cinematic to watch. The riflemen getting a big hit from the one siege tank, actually. I thought there was 2 for a second. Just 1 siege tank. A lot of bunkers here as well. Oh, man. Okay, but it looks like Oakway deciding to run around this. Great game sense by Rosebudio. Do they have any detection here? No, they don't. So they just, yeah, it looks like Rosebudio, he just decided that the army was moving on the right-hand side. The force fields as well. The siege tank moving up a little bit to defend, and actually really great positioning here, kind of covering both the ramp and the right-hand side. It's a little far because of these rocks. Oh, wait, but we have another siege tank as well. So both teams playing really good, actually, relatively defensively, making sure not to overextend too much and lose too much stuff. Let's take a look at what these heroes are officially called, though. So the 2 heroes we've got for our human player, we have the Blood Mage and the Archmage. And what do we have for the Undead player? We have the Dreadlord and the Death Knight, which we're looking at right now. Oh, wait a minute. But here we go. The Blood Mage is right here mixed in as well. Looks very Horde, which makes sense because it is it's a Blood Elf. I'm just not used to seeing it in the Warcraft 3 setting. I've played a lot of WoW in the past. Warcraft 3 pretty much only when I was a kid, minus one of the campaign mods, which rebuilt the Warcraft 3 campaign using the StarCraft 2 engine, which meant better pathing, a bit more responsiveness with unit control. I did one or 2 videos on that. I have to go back and look, but that is something I do want to explore once again. All right, looks like these mobs here getting cleaned up. Actually, you know what? The Dreadlord taking a lot of damage. Oakway being forced to retreat a little bit, just barely saving Necros, and the Death Knight here as well. Way more healthy than the Dreadlord, although the Dreadlord did get some good healing in as it ran away. I'm not sure if it used a potion. I forgot to look at his right now his inventory is empty. Let's take a look at the inventory for our Death Knight. He has a Scroll of Town Portal. All right, though, the Stalkers with Blink trying to snipe this Town Hall. Rosebudio, oh man, he's seeing red, losing a bit more Stalkers than I think was, okay, well, losing pretty much all his Stalkers. I was going to say more than was ideal, but then the rest of the Stalkers, they were really out for blood. They're like seeing red, literally seeing red, and going down, unfortunately for them. But honestly, the StarCraft side of the map is looking pretty healthy defense-wise. A lot of bunkers, a lot of siege tanks, and this is something I've also said in my previous cast featuring this mod. The StarCraft players seem to play a lot more defensively, I want to say. So the meta is kind of more geared towards either static defense or in this case bunkers, which are like a mix of static defense. Yeah, you put mobile units into them, but obviously a bunker does not move and it does protect your units as well. So I would consider it static defense. And obviously the siege tanks on the back of all these bunkers. So as you can see, a very defensive play from our Terran player at the very least. Storm being thrown on a lot of these riflemen, though. Oh, man. But the Abominations here as well. They do have 350 HP a pop. That is not something to sneeze at. Good unit control by Rosebudio, though, with these force fields. Really trying to control this engagement at the very least. Oh, man, and Kytrion moving a little too far forward, taking more shots from those siege tanks on these riflemen. Ultimately, looks like Team Warcraft will pull back and wait for reinforcements to come in. Excuse me, had to cough. I was choking. I like this, though. The medevacs here as well. A lot more mech from our Protoss player, though, so they won't capitalize on the medevacs. No charge zealots to speak of. Do we even have charge on the field? No, we do not. So I don't think Rosebudio has any plans to go zealots anytime soon, even though we do have the Templar. It would be cool to see an eventual transition to Archon Charge Zealot once these Templar run out of energy. And here we go, the first Archon on the way. Couple shield batteries here. Photon cannons warping in. Oakway deciding to run around to the mineral line, though. Wow, this game is absolutely action-packed. And here we go, the Zealots, just as I said it. Yep, they are here, and charge is actually on the way. So I actually failed to look at the production tab. Zealot charge is actually being researched and almost finished. This town hall will survive, though, and it is on the gold base. This will be a big economical pickup for Kytrion once this finishes up. Oh, man. Okay, the meat wagons. Able to see on the high ground, or can they actually cast? Is that what we're seeing? Okay, I think it was, actually, I don't know. I don't know how they had vision on the high ground. Maybe I was missing something. Let me know down in the comments below. Okay, no, there was definitely no vision there for our undead player. Can they just launch indiscriminately? Is that what we're seeing? That's actually kind of insane. That forced the siege tanks back for the Terran player, so they don't have the ability to lock down this ramp nearly as well. But this is still a lot of stuff to deal with. But it looks like the meat wagons, they do outrange the bunkers. They're pretty much mobile siege tanks. Oh, this is crazy. Not that siege tanks aren't mobile, but you know what I mean. They have to be planted when they siege up like that. They can't move when they're in siege mode. That is what I meant. Anyway, I like this, though. I mean, both teams are doing a great job at locking down their respective sides of the map. The issue is when you're playing teams and you split your army like this, you're way more at risk of entering a 2v1 situation and losing your entire army and then effectively losing the game. But it looks like both players from both respective teams are kind of aggroed on each other. So it's like a 1v1, 1v1 is what we're seeing right now. I love this. This isn't something we normally see, but here we go. Looks like the Warcraft 3 team finally focusing on the Protoss player, but these Colossi mixed in with the Charge Zealots and the Archon, this is a force to be reckoned with. That is for sure. Rosebudio is in this game to win. They're playing like crazy. Both players are playing like crazy. This is wild. Okay, look at this. Yep, and this is exactly what I mean. I mean, these Colossi with the Zealots keeping the army at bay just gives their splash damage so much free reign over this army. It's insane to watch. Meanwhile, the Terran player is happily just chilling, doing what Terran do best, which is turtling. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I did not mean to make a Terran joke. It just came out of me. That is my bad. I am a Protoss player after all. What do you expect? We have a feud right now, is what's going on there. Anyway, we're looking at what is potentially going to be a 2v1 situation. Oakway and Kytrion are trying to lock down the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Rosebudio with these crazy Colossi. I mean, look at the skin. That is so cool. I actually think I have this skin, but I don't know. It looks like Rosebudio has his eyes on this kind of right-hand side of the map here. Meanwhile, it looks like the Orange Army as well for the Undead player is coming to reinforce his human teammate. What is this? That must have been a spell from the Archmage. Is that what we saw? Where is the Archmage? Maybe it was the Blood Mage. I don't know. It looked a lot more Archmage-y to me, but the Blood Mage is right here. It must have been Flame Strike. Yep, it was Flame Strike. Okay, so that was from the Blood Mage. That is such a cool-looking animation. Is that vanilla? I have no idea, to be honest. Let me know down in the comments below if I am right about that, if it's vanilla. Oh, man, this Colossus here. Wait, why are these not taking damage? They're priests. They're healing each other's, I think, what we're seeing there. Look at that heal. That heal is so fast. And, oh, this poor shield battery. You didn't deserve that, bro. Rest in peace. Inevitably. Maybe not, though. This priest going down. The rest of the army here on the right-hand side Is this a 2v1? Is that what we're looking at? Where is our purple Terran player? Ardorz, what are you doing? Are you just locking down right now for your team? I mean, that's fine, but eventually Rosebudio will inevitably get overrun. I mean, it's hard to do a 2v1 at this stage in the game. We're at 16 minutes and 30 seconds, I think. Also, I'm not sure if we're seeing a day-night cycle in this version of the mod, actually. Rosebudio, or whoever is very familiar with the Azeroth-Koprulu Hyperwar mod, which version are we seeing? Because I'm not seeing a day-night cycle, I don't think. In the last one we did, there was definitely a day-night cycle. Anyway, a big warping of Zealots to attack these Crypt Fiends. The Colossus here as well will likely get overrun, and it will. The Terran army here, a lot of tanks moving in to help defend this. The Charge Zealots as well, almost getting walled off by accident, and I think this is enough. Will the siege tanks siege up, though, is the question. Right now, they are mobile, and I think it's actually working out for them. The siege tanks finally sieging up, though. They will throw down a lot of fire on these riflemen. Kytrion forced to retreat. Oh, man. Is this the base movement in vanilla? I feel like these horses are moving way faster than they were animated to. You know, their legs are moving so fast. Man, this game is absolutely insane, I gotta say. Looks like the Terran army, I almost called them humans, running back to the support of the siege tanks, it looks like. I mean, technically, Terrans are humans. They're literally humans. It's just we're looking at medieval humans with magic versus, I guess, sci-fi humans, which, you know what? That feels very Warhammer to me. At least if these were orcs, maybe. I don't know. It's just a weird mashup for sure. It's an awesome one. It's like the Super Smash Bros. Of Blizzard before Blizzard is what it is today. All right, a big storm that we just witnessed on top of all this human stuff. The priests, though, with their heals are so insane. How much does it heal for? 25 hit points. I guess until it loses energy. That's actually really good. I mean, how much does medevac heal, actually? Medevac heals 4 life per 1 energy. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good, too, once you think about how quickly it heals, but still. Lots of storms being thrown down on this human stuff, and Kytrion, he's like, I don't care, bro. We're going in for the kill. The Archon's warping in here as well, or morphing in to be more accurate. The Charge Zealots warping in as well, and the surround. Oh, man. That was sick. That pincer move between the Terran and the Protoss army absolutely destroying the human army. Kytrion here, he doesn't have much left in terms of army supply, at least on the StarCraft 2 side of the map. By the way, there is a day-night cycle because we just heard the wolf, and look at this. We now have nighttime on the map. Oh, man, Kytrion going to lose this base here, typing Y in the chat. He's like, why you do this? We were playing such a good game. Does he have anything else? I mean, he does have units running across the map, but I wouldn't necessarily run them in all kind of staggered like this. I would kind of group up my units, but at the same time, it seems to be working out for him. These knights doing a decent amount of damage, but where is our undead player is the question. I feel like we haven't seen Oakway in a minute. Another storm on top of all this Warcraft stuff. Oh man, the human base here going down. It was virtually mined out. Could be a lot worse, but I'm sure we lost a lot of workers there as well. And now it looks like the StarCraft team is stacked. This is exactly what you want to be doing in this situation, in a 2v2 situation. You want to make sure you're stacking your army, unless it's a very unique kind of engagement style like we saw earlier where it was like 2 1v1s on the map, which was really cool to see, but not something that I feel like is meta or done commonly. Usually you want to have your stuff all together all the time, unless you're doing a drop or something like that too, but you know, that's the same for 1v1 really. Okay, though, Kytrion did reinforce his army. Also, what level are the heroes? Okay, so it looks like the Death Knight is level 5, the Blood Mage, oh sorry, this is the Archmage here, level 6, and the Blood Mage as well. Where are you? Level 5 here. I feel like they level up a lot slower than they used to as well. That is something I noticed, because in the past, when I covered this mod, I felt like we saw level 10 heroes almost immediately. Not almost immediately, but absolutely at 20 minutes into the game. That is for sure. These Colossi, though, doing so much work. It's like Colossi are the meta once again. Look at this, though. There's an evade mechanic. I don't know if you saw that. It was really small, but the Warcraft units do evade. Oh, man, these Charge Zealots here as well, aggroing on the Peasants. The Peasants running for their lives, and some of them do survive, actually. Rosebudio moving back. Man, there's a lot of bases here to cover, though, to be fair, for the Warcraft team. The StarCraft players doing a great job at cleaning things up in kind of a sequential order. Oh, man, it's a massacre, though. I wasn't expecting the game to look like this. Oakway saying something about the pathing. I didn't notice it. Kytrion fighting for his life here, though. He's doing a great job at staying in the game at the very least. Man, I've played against Kytrion, though, several times with different mods, and he absolutely kicked my ass. To be fair, though, I don't know his experience with Warcraft 3 races, but he does have very good knowledge with RTS in general. I mean, all these players do, clearly. It's so fun to watch. Rosebudio floating a decent amount of money, but he's also maxed out. Looks like the Warcraft 3 heroes, excuse me, may not be enough here, especially not against the Colossi. And the Colossi just have a lot of range and a lot of splash damage, and all this stuff is ground. We don't have anti-air. What I think Warcraft 3 team needs to do is think about an answer to these Colossi, because clearly the Colossi are just wrecking the field right now. Look at this. This is insane. I feel like we just have to sit back and enjoy. Luckily, or I guess unfortunately, I should say, I don't have a cup of coffee. I don't know why I said luckily, because that is not lucky at all. I think I was on autopilot there. These Colossi, though, on the left-hand side, getting destroyed. Kytrion saying something about 15 seconds. I'm not sure what the question is in regards to, but these Colossi have been thinned out just a little bit. They do have the Stalker support, though. Oh, Divine Shield. Is Divine Shield a 15-second spell? I'm trying to think. Oh, wow, okay, yeah, I guess it was. Rosebudio agreeing, saying it's pretty good, but Kytrion saying it lasted 6 seconds, I think. Anyway, the ramp to the natural base locations under fire, and what is this? Our Terran player is just chilling. What? Okay, throwing down 2 command centers. So he's just memeing at this point. He's at 200. He has 10,000 minerals almost and 3,000 gas, and he's just kicking it. He's just memeing. I think he's just playing the game for fun. I mean, obviously, we all play the game for fun, but he's not even trying. Anyways, our Warcraft 3 team throwing out the GG, giving the victory to Team StarCraft 2. What a sick game. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. Big shout out to my channel members. I really appreciate the extra mile you guys have gone to support me. It helps out a lot, and I'll see you guys on the next one.